Oripas. If you're in the Pokemon card scene, even if you haven't heard of the term, you will likely have seen it or even bought some of it. For better or worse, it is taking pack opening to the next level. Hi, my name is enqempieye and I do Pokemon TCG content. I cover card shows. I also talk about oncoming sets while opening the current expansion because what the and I've also pulled a God pack recently. Anyway, if you know me, you know me. If not, welcome to the channel. And today is going to be a interesting video, kind of a discussion video where I'm going to be talking about what an Oripa is. Before I continue though, I have to mention that today's video is in collaboration with Clove, an Oripa-centric card store that has both a physical and digital presence. I've been to their store a few times in Tokyo and they do sell singles and also they do buybacks, as you know most other card stores would. But for this video, they have provided me with some points that I'll be able to use on their site, which I will show you in just a bit, okay? So let's get on with it. Oripas, or also known as original packs, which is the shortened Oripas are original packs, so Oripa is an abbreviation of those two words and is typically meant for a pack that's designed not by Nintendo or the Pokemon company. It's actually used to describe a pack that is done by a third party, right? So stuff like your Walmart mystery boxes, your PSA power packs, or even like, you know, in card shows you see a lot of these, right? A lot of these stuff inside or something. I mean, this is unused as you can see because I use this for mailing, but they often put it in stuff like this and they write the Oripa thing here. And they contain lots of things. So although they call it an Oripa, right, it may not just contain cards. It could take the form of these two. In Japan, you'll see a lot of these, right? So, okay, maybe the sleeve they use is gonna be black because they don't need to be able to look at like, maybe like, I don't know, some parts of it. So the sleeve will be covered. It'll be wholly black or the other brand of sleeves or whatever, or even wrapped in any way, or they could contain slabs. So it can contain anything really at this point. It can even contain like sealed products, and like it's also called an Oripa because right now that term is just used for any third-party product that's like randomized. It's a pack. So you open, typically how it works, right, in Japan, is you have this little envelope thingy and then there's a card in there. So let's say like that, right? So you will remove the card in the middle, and if it's a hit card, then typically it'll just be in the middle for the middle tiers. But if it's the top tier, slabs or boxes or any of that sort, it's gonna be a separate, it's gonna be a worthless energy card, but on the middle, it's gonna be written like so and so price. So that's what you have to look out for. Just because it's an energy card doesn't mean it didn't hit anything. So that's for the real life stuff. So you might be asking, okay, so alright, it's a pack made by a third party. So what's so good about that? Okay, so what's so good about Oripas is that because it's not fixed, right? There's gonna be a lot of different series that could go into that pack. So imagine like a pack where you could get the entirety of Journey Together till MEO2, right? All of the SARs dumped into one pack and then split into all the different packs for you to try and rip and open. So that's interesting, right? Because you can get a lot of different stuff. You could get like Ethan's Ho-Oh, you could get Cynthia's Garchomp, you could get like Lily's Clefairy, you could get Mega Charizard X, you could get Gardevoir SAR, you know, you could get Gold Gardevoir. All of those will be within the same pool of packs, right? It's like a whole new level where like it's not restricted between sets. It's just anything, all the nice stuff dumped into one pack. So that's the good part of that. And they may even have categories. In Japan, you see that a lot. You're gonna see waifu, you're gonna see EV, you're gonna see like poncho maybe. So there's a lot of different themes. There's even like the Munch, you know, the Scream, like that series of cards. There's even an Oripa for that. So they do divide it into different categories so that it's easier for you to go for the Oripa you want. Otherwise, if it's too scattered, it's also not that good. That aspect of it makes it highly addicting because whereas in normal sets, you just get like maybe a decent card or the best cards like maybe $800, right? But in certain high value Oripas, right, the prices go up to like 10,000 or more. So that's for another story. That's for like another topic. Today we're just going to talk about Oripas in general, the good and the bad. So although it feels like I'm talking like really nice about Oripas, right, but they're not all good. So ultimately, it's a business, right? The person making a pack wants to make money, right? So it's very important for you to understand how the margins in these packs work so that you can know what you're buying when you're buying a pack, so that you can recognize what's good, what's not. And when you do buy the pack, I want you to be able to know what exactly you're going to be in for. So if you saw my Osaka video, right, for those that didn't, essentially I just bought this 8,000 yen pack and I got like a 600 yen card, which the buyback value is probably like 100 yen SR. So, you know, that's the kind of value you could expect maybe if you don't hit. But some may or may not do stuff that bad. So there are some Oripas that I like, which in another previous video I did a short about that. That was a 3,000 yen Oripa that had a value of a minimum value guarantee of 1,000 yen. So to me, that was really nice because you could get like, you pay 3,000 yen, even though you may not like make your money back, like you get lots of, I got my 151 Pikachu from that, the AR. I got my SAR Beedrill from that too. Japanese, I got Blissey Trainer Gallery, and a few other nice, really nice stuff from there. So Oripas don't have to be bad. That was like a really fun Oripa that I enjoyed opening a lot. Whereas, you know, you pay 8,000 yen and you get like a 100 yen card. You know, so there are different ways to do this. Oripas are not just bad. I know some people are like, oh my god, shouldn't buy it at all. Like, but to me, it's just the way you do it determines whether it's good or bad. So I'm gonna be talking about it soon with an Excel chart that I made using that Oripa, one Oripa that I saw in one of my trips. We're just gonna use that as a sample before we move on to calculating Clove's one when we do it for real. But for now, TLDR, skip to this time. Otherwise, we'll be heading over to the computer and we're gonna be checking the Excel page out. Okay, so I know this thing here looks confusing, but so focus on the bottom. This is the Oripa that I'll be using to judge, to calculate and like check on what the rates are gonna be like, right? So quite a few assumptions have to be made because I am not gonna spend that amount to buy out the whole thing and like calculate every single price, right? I don't have that kind of money. So a lot of assumptions can be made based on the price of all of the hits down below. So if we know the total price of all the hits combined, and we also know the price per slot, then you can see right over here, you can see, right, we know the slot price. Okay, so before we get into that, right, I guess I should help you all to understand how the Oripa functions first. So at the bottom, you can see right about where Licia is, you can see there's a 50, the number 50, and a square. So that square is basically the sign for slots. So 50 bytes, you could say, like Kuchi, like I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know why they use slots. Like they use the word mouth, but it basically stands for 50 bytes. So you could take 50 bytes before you finish the whole package. That's how they kind of see it. So yeah, and you can see the number 1 with the slot again. So the byte, 1 byte for 60,000 yen. So that's how you generally understand how Oripa works. So for this particular Oripa, right, every single Oripa slot is guaranteed to be a PSA 10. However, there are a lot of junk PSA 10s that typically tend to be, you know, thrown in there. You know, when they buy back those junk slabs, that's where they go, if you're wondering. So if you ever sell back in Japan, you know, if you are a lover of Oripa, someday you might actually get your card back, even though you might not know it. So yeah, with that out of the way, you can see right on the chart there, you can see the slot price, which I've indicated based on the image below. And I've also taken, because that video was taken in July 2024, so I've taken the liberty of using the exchange rates at the time, so that there's no confusion and that there's no, like Japan's yen going up and down, USD going up and down, Sigma dollars going up and down, it's actually a little bit cheaper, more expensive. Yeah, none of that. This is the exact price. If you go to Google in July, it's about this. So that's what I'm going to use. So I don't hear any like, oh, maths, oh. Okay, no, this is data. I've shown you. You can use your own data point of your own data points. You can use another date or something. But this was the date that I went. So the month that I went. So that's what I'm using. So here you can see all the different currencies. And then there are, as you can see, I've counted down below already. There are 19 hits. So technically 20, but the Licia, if you can see, there's the word there. That's actually called last one. So last one, you only get the Licia if that is the final slot left. So typically when the amount of like packs drop, the amount of slots drop to a certain number, a little too low, where people are okay to take it, people will just buy out the entire thing and they can get the Licia, right? So you will never be able to get it outside of finishing the entire Oripa. So we don't count that. So technically there are only 19 hits for you to buy and there are 50 slots. So our odds are here, 19 over 50, which is 0.38, which is estimated to be about, but technically it's just 38%, right? So 1 in 3, you're gonna get it. So average hit rate is about 2.63 because we divided 1 by 0.38. So we cannot possibly buy 2.6 packs. So we're gonna have to buy more than 2.6 packs in order to get the hit. On average, alright? You could be lucky, you could be unlucky, who knows? But the average price we need to hit based on the number 506, 1,332, which is using 2.63. But if we were just to times 506.25, okay, let's not care about the 506, just times 3, we get 1,518. There's going to be a price for you to get one hit, okay? One of these 19 hits. Okay, no, without this. So one of these 19 hits, right? You will have to spend 1,518 to get one of these. One of these, okay? So, next up. So, out of all of these prices, right? You can see I've checked based on price charting. You can check it yourself. You can reference the card there, down there. Look it up. Or you can look up the name roughly. You can likely find it. So there's only one card that I don't really have the value for, and I actually own the card. It's a Mega Lopunny and Jigglypuff, Tag Team EX Alt Art. There's no history on it. It's not really transacted with. I don't know why it's not that popular, but I just guesstimated it at about 80 because at the time when I graded it, my own copy I graded, it was just about there. I was not upcharged at all. So yeah, I'm just gonna guess 80 because I did it in early 2025 and this was in July 2024, which is even worse, right? You can see all of these cards in PSA 10 are not worth this right now, right? So these were the prices back then, okay? So you can see out of the 19, there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 prizes that are, even and above. So you can see even plus, which are indicated, so it's even and above. So with that, your current hit rate, so you have to hit one of like the 19 out of the 50, and out of the 19 that you've tried to hit already, you have to hit 7 out of the 19. So your chance of breaking even for each pack that you buy is 0.14, which makes the break-even hit rate about 7.1 packs, which we have to round up again because you can't buy 7.1, you have to buy like 8. So the average price to hit one of these break-even cards is about 3,616. Yeah, so these is based on this, by the way. So if we do like 506 times 8, you're gonna spend $4,000 to get one break-even card, which could be this, Could be this, could be Cynthia, could be Sightseer, could be Urshifu Rapid VMAX, which is probably tanking like a rock since it got released. And since like this value, I don't know why it was so expensive. I was not a fan of Urshifu anyway, but you can see the chances of it are quite low, you know. This is for like math people. I don't know if you are part of the TLDR squad. What are you doing here? Skip. I'll give you one more chance. Skip to this time if you don't want to care about all these numbers. But if not, you're welcome to stay. You're welcome to understand how it works, how you calculate all these things. But then again, a lot of these are assumptions. So we're gonna move on to this bottom area. So what is this bottom area? The bottom here is a price total. If you add up every single price available that they've said is gonna be in the pack, right? So we've added it all up, including the last price, because technically if you buy it all out, it's still gonna be yours. It's not something that's out of the loop, you know. So I'm just including it in because we're looking at the whole package as a whole. So it's gonna be 18,482. But if we look at the price, right, it's $506.25. I've just included it because Excel it's easier to just reference the cell, right? So I'm just gonna do the sum of this times the number of slots, which is 50. So 50 times 506, and we get 25,312.5. So that makes their margin. So because they spent. This is under even the most generous assumptions that they spent this much to get all of these prizes. They spent market value and bought these cards, all of these cards at like a high price, and there's no margin whatsoever, and they have to rely just on the sales of these. Their margin is still a pretty nice 6,829, which is about 26.9. So we're just gonna round it up to 27%. 27% profit margin, which is, well, not profit. It's not profit yet. So it's just the margin, the difference, assuming they bought all of these cards at that price and gave it up, right? Which usually they buy back at 60 to 80%. So yeah, okay. So now that you probably know that if you watch a lot of my card show videos, but I don't know if I mentioned that a lot. Whatever, that's for another video, okay? I'm gonna make another video just gonna teach you about Pokemon. Okay, I'm getting off topic, god damn it. Okay, anyway, let's move on. So I've taken the liberty of also calculating the average return of the hits. So if you take all of these and you divided it by 20, when you get a hit, well, technically I should put 19 and remove this one, but we'll just include it. So it's a lot of like napkin math, a lot of paper like math. I know as you buy, the chances of you hitting is gonna go up. Like each time you get a dot is gonna go up, but just roughly, right? Even if let's say we rounded it down, it's still like, you know, two packs, which is 1,000 plus, and you can see the value here is, yeah. So assuming we use all these paper math, the average hit will net you $924, and even at the best of the best, you're going to be spending $1,012 to get one of these, which is on average, if you get the average of all of these hits, is around 924. So even on the averages, you're losing by a little bit, and I'm being very generous here, because technically you're supposed to round it up. It's going to take you 3, right? It's 2.6. And I know you, as you buy, the rates are going to go down, but it's not going to go down by that much, right? Unless you buy a lot. And if you buy a lot, you are not hitting this ever, dude. You're not hitting this ever. Okay, so now that we know the average return is 924 for the hits only, that gives us 30 slots that are blank, right? So those 30 slots will not have any of the things of the cards at the bottom. So what would they put there? You might think. Okay, so now we're going to look at the margin. So this margin they could use to populate the rest of the dart slots, right? The dart slots are basically stuff that consolation. It could be consolation or it could be junk. So like I mentioned, that one with the 3,000 yen Oripa that gave a minimum guarantee of 1,000 yen, that one, they spent at least, right, like let's just assume they use the market value, so 1,000 yen for each of the packs, then it's gonna be a pretty decent chunk of the margin they took out to kind of make the pack more fun, right? But here you can see, even assuming they took nothing, all right, they did this as a charity, they're gonna give all the margin away, right? And let's say they're happy with their price, like because they bought back for lower and then they give it to you at market value, so technically the price total does not reflect their costs, right? But I'm just gonna assume it does, and they did everything, they give everything out. Okay, so the margin for 30 slots means that each slot, if you got a dud, gives you $227 for every 506 that you spent, right? So you lost half your money already. And that's assuming they took nothing, all right? They took nothing. And that's not possible, right? Let's think about it. They're a business. They're gonna have to pay the employees, they're gonna have electricity, you're gonna have upkeep, rent, you know, all these other stuff. So they're not gonna take that. So let's assume they took 2,000 from this Oripa, right? That reduces the value to 160.9, let's say 161, for every 506 that you spend for each dud, right? And that's being pretty generous because there's no way they just took 2,000, right? So let's assume they took 4,000, and that reduces it to 94 for every 506 that you spent. So this, in general, is what Oripa is gonna be like for you. Not that I'm discouraging Oripas, because those that are done well are pretty fun, and also I cannot deny that the dopamine rush from getting a hit is great. Not that I've ever hit one, but after opening the God pack, it's like if you ever open the God pack, you open a SAR, like a really nice SAR, imagine that feeling times like 100, because it's totally unexpected. You could get anything out of this picture, anything, any single one. You can see Sun and Moon, you can see the Munch, you can see Fairheart Picker, you can see Poncho Picker. There's such huge variety. Like I mentioned before, stepping into the chart, like into this section, that's really what makes people addicted, because it's so good. Like it's such a huge variety that you cannot ever get from a normal pack. So yeah, so even assuming a 4K margin out of the 6,800, you're still getting 94, and that's really, really bad. Like that's less than 1/5 of what you get. But more realistically, if you look at one of my older videos when I was in Osaka, at 8,000 yen, I got back a card that's like 600 yen. So they buy back probably about 100 yen, like I mentioned before. So let's just use 600 yen. So out of 8,000, we only got back 600. That's like 9% return. So if we take 500 and times it by 0.09, 506. Okay, let's be a little bit more accurate. 506. Realistically, you're gonna get a $45 slab, which is basically a junk slab, right? So you're gonna get 9% of what you got back. Or maybe if they're a little more generous, maybe 50. So let's say 45. We times this whole thing by 30. So we can roughly guesstimate their margin, alright? This is just a guess. I'm not saying they actually spend this much. So they spent this, and then C28 minus G5, and let's calculate this. What's their margin? 5,463. More realistically, this is what you're gonna be. This is what it's gonna be, alright? So this is my calculation for this Oripa down below. If you see something like this, then you can roughly gauge it using a chart like this. So it may not be 100%. As I said, as you hit a dart, your chances of hitting is gonna go up as you like play. But then, based on the prices of the prizes, right? If you spend more than 4, you're at best breaking even, right? 4, like even like if you're super lucky, you spend 4, you bought 4, which is around $2,032. You get this maybe. That's like 1, right? You have to get specifically this. Getting any others makes you break even or even lose money. So yeah, that's should expect, right? So as you can see here, we're currently in the Clove homepage, and this is where our collaboration officially starts. So before we do any of these things, I'm gonna show you their point system. So you can see, look at the points, right? So ignore this because I currently have a coupon, but if we took off the coupon, you can see at the bottom here, 500 points, 500 yen, 1000 points, 1000 yen, so on and so forth. So what you can assume is that points equals yen, right? When you see all these numbers, right, these are not, that's technically an indirect way of like spending, but it's technically yen. You can refer to them as yen. There's no obfuscation, there's no like, oh, you're spending gems, like a gem, like 1 gem equals like 0.32 cents, and then like 0.32 cents you spend however much, blah blah. Like no, you're literally buying like 20,000 yen for 20,000 points. So it's pretty nice that they're direct like that. So as you can see, all of these things here, there's all of these, like I mentioned, right? The munch, you can see, right? I mentioned the EV, and this one's pretty interesting, but you can see like 5,000 point and above, there's 1,000 pieces in here, and you can see it's 2,000 pieces. So your chances of getting a 5,000 yen card from a 4.8k yen Oripa is like 50%. So pretty nice, pretty nice. And your top hits are Alolan Friends, Lady Looking Back Pikachu from the Stamp collaboration. You have the Chinese 151 exclusive. You have Lily's Determination in Japanese, PSA 10. You have Giratina from Lost Origin, I think. Yeah, you can see lots of all of these. You can see this like. So how you navigate the site is, or at least I'm gonna teach you how to look at these things first, right? Because it's gonna be like, oh my god, there's so many things. What's all this? What's all this? So basically, here at the bottom, above the draw button, you can see the remaining slots. So remember I talked to you about that square thing, where it's like the amount of bites you have to take to finish the whole Oripa. This is it. It's at the bottom here, and you can see in the banner directly, you can see they've stated what's in here. So you can see a PSA 10 Poncho Mega, not Mega, Rayquaza. You have a PSA 10 Munch Pikachu. You have a PSA 10 Rainbow Mewtwo GX. And we have a PSA 10 Charizard Rainbow Gigantamax. You can see the same for these. So you can see all of the EV Heroes, yeah, EV Heroes, PSA 10s, they're all in here. And you have all of the Terrestrial Festival EVs at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 60,000 to hit one of these. So generally when they show the cards there, right, they mean one copy. The card that you see on the banner is that copy. So there's no like, oh, maybe there could be like 5 Umbreons in there, right? No, that's not the case. So usually when they say that there's more than one, give me a second. See, I know I saw it. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's go to Pokemon. Let's see. I know I saw it. Or, okay, here. Alright, see this? PSA 10 guaranteed, right? This is the hat Lily. They call the hat wearing Lily, but technically this is Lily before she like before the events of Sun and Moon happened. So you can see the hat wearing Lily. There's 10 pieces in this little Oripa, and also not just that, there's a 1/5 chance of getting 35,000 points back. So For every 32,000 yen you spend, there's a 1/5 chance for you to get a 35,000 yen and above card. So that means you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whenever there's more than one copy, they will always say it. So if you look at stuff like this, right? Like look at this Gengar tag team stuff, right? These are just one-off. Like everything is just one-off. You are not gonna have like, oh, maybe they could be. What if there's like two Gengars? Like if someone actually got the Gengar, right? It's gone. It's just gone, right? So if someone actually got the Gardevoir, it's also just gone, right? So you can see another thing. One of my favorite mechanics of Oripas is look at this. This is a minimum guarantee of 15,000 points. So try to memorize this characters. I mean, if you know Chinese, this is practically Chinese. 最低保证. So like minimum guarantee 15,000 points. But if you are not from Singapore or you don't understand Chinese or Japanese, just try to remember this set of like this set of characters because that's what it means. Minimum guarantee. So whenever you see stuff like because a lot of these others, if you can see even the One Piece ones, right? You can see half chance for 30,000 yen and above card, but it's a half chance, right? For this particular one, it's guaranteed. Each pull for 30,000 yen, you get back half minimum at the minimum. So those kinds are a little more my speed, but of course that's up to you whether you wanna go hog wild. You know, there's like this crazy one. So I don't know what I really want. I mean, maybe waifu ones? I don't know. Or Misty's. That one's not too expensive though. So you can actually go to price charting to check on all of these prices, and then you can populate your own version of this. So let's see. Okay, so let's see this one, right? Okay, so this is 17,000 yen for 400 slots. So let's go back to our book. Right, 17,000 yen. And then we have 400 slots. So let's fill it up here. I'm doing this for my own reference. I'm technically not using it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits. 7 hits in 400 slots. So 7 divided by 400. You have a 1.75% chance to hit, and this one is gonna be okay. You're gonna have to roll 57 times to get one hit, roughly. It's a 1.75% chance. It's almost 2. That's why it's like 57. Yeah, and this you're gonna have to spend about $8,196 to get a hit from this pack. Okay, so let's calculate this, right? So Alolan Friends. I'm just gonna fast forward and fill out the form. Okay, welcome back. So I've just populated the chart right here. I'm gonna move my face. Right, I've just populated the chart here. You can see these are the 7 cards, right? Alolan Friends, Latios, Sylveon from Terrestrial Festival, Mew from Fusion Arts, the VMAX version, Solgaleo Lunala GX from Dream League. We have Lily's Full Force from Tag Team Deluxe, the Gold card box. I forgot what it was called. I actually have it, but it's been too long. We have Miriam from Violet Base. So these are the prices of their PSA 10s. As of the date of this video, which is 12th of December, you can check, it's about there, right? December 2025. It's right about there, right? So the total price of the prizes are $10,622, right? But we have 400 slots. So our sum total of the slots will be $57,000 for this whole thing, which means their margin, excluding buybacks and everything, is $46,753. And using the formula I've shown you just now, each of the slots, assuming no margin. Oh, hold on. Okay, so sorry about that. I've redone the calculations here because there's technically seven hits, right? So that means the remaining slots that are not hits are 393. So I've divided the remaining by 393 because just now I didn't. So yeah, these is the correct values for all of the darts that you'll be getting. So you have spent 143, and if they are being generous, you'll get 118 back, which doesn't sound too bad, right? And all of these numbers don't look too bad, but that's assuming a 4K margin, right? So out of 46,000, right? Do you think they're gonna just take 4K? So let's just assume they take 25,000 lah, huh? Let's say take 25,000 out of the 46. Well, more realistically, I think they're gonna take 30,000 lah. So, right? It doesn't say PSA 10 guarantee, right? Oh wait, okay, it does. So it's gonna be a $42 slab probably. So they just spend 16K and they keep $30,000 for themselves, right? 30K margin. Each slot of the dart will be $42, which is about there, I would say. Most of the junk slabs retail for about that price. So yeah, I don't like these, right? I don't like these at all because they give you like $100 to get potentially $4,000, right? So I don't like that because that means, look at this. Just look at this. This is a high chance of losing and only a there's a 1.75% chance of getting any of these, right? There's no in between. There's not going to be any in between. They have no minimum guarantees. They don't have like, 1/4 chance for 30,000 and above. These are more details given to you that are helpful in making you like decide whether you want to go for it or not. Whereas these are like the very, very degenerate types, right? So that's how you roughly calculate, like, this is how you roughly calculate your odds for opening the Oripas and whether you want to open or not. When you should understand your, like, how much is being, taken, right? So average price to get a break-even card, which is like, oh no, this is not. So G7, yeah. So to hit a break, to hit like 1, 2, and 3, right? Because they are the top 3 that will likely help you break even because you're gonna have to spend like you have to spend this amount just to get one of these, right? You spend this amount on average just to get one of these. But then if you're gonna get like this, or this, you're gonna have to spend, yeah, roughly. It's very paper math, but even so, even if this is like maybe 10% off, like it's still like 1.7K, right? It's still 1.7K, right? And it's 17,000. Is it $17,000, right? So even if it's 10%, 20% off, it's still a humongous sum of money for just these. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. For just, hey, where is it? For just these, right? So these are the ones I don't like. These are the ones I don't like. Whereas the ones I like are the one that says guarantee. It disappeared. It knows I like it. No, come back. Anyway, I'll just you saw it, so you know what I so you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But yeah, there's a whole ton of like options, and I honestly don't really know what to. I feel like rolling this, but it's, I don't know if people have taken the prizes away already. Like, you don't know. So if someone actually like got any of these hits, right, your chances are even lower because, right, like this is gonna be like, maybe they got it in like, if someone got lucky, right, and they got it in 40, there's gonna be 460 left, but then it's like 6 remaining, so it's even worse. You're spending more, right? So you don't know the option. They don't tell you how many is left. So yeah, it's there's good and bad. So if you see there's not much remaining, you could have a higher chance if none of the prizes are taken. However, if you can see this is like barely touched, right? So if you buy this, yeah, you can be rather assured that all of them are still there, but of course your odds are the raw odds. Oh, okay, I saw one of this. Okay, so this is quite literally, I know I said that one was like degenerate, right? This is the most degenerate one. Okay, this is 800 yen. There's extra battle day, Lily and Ace Roller, 2 of them each, and there's 70,000 slots. Oh my god, do you know how bad that is? Oh my god. The odds of this is so bad, dude. So bad. Like okay, let's just, okay, so I've just calculated this. Oh my god. So each try is 800 yen. There are 70,000 slots. The Excel can't even understand, like in numerical terms, but but your average hit rate is 1 in every 17,500, which will cost you $118,000. But this is guaranteed one of these, right? $118,000 for $18,000 card. So they spent a total of $673,000, $67,000, 390 for these 4 prizes, and the total sells for $472,000, and their margin is $405,000. And even if they made nothing, they get each of the 9,996 remaining slots will give you back $5. So I mean, to be fair, it's spending 100 yen, right? But still, it's gonna be one of those like nonsense SR cards, right? That they bought back for like $1, 100 yen. Right, so yeah, this is how you roughly calculate the odds of these. Like if you're ever tempted by these, right, do what I did, do all of these things. If you want me to share a version of this, do let me know in the comments. But just do something like that, and you're gonna feel it, right? Oh, okay, look at that, 15,000 and above PSA 10. 15,000 yen and above PSA 10 guaranteed for this. Okay, I think I'll do this. Okay, finally decided. enqempieye has decided. Oh my god, after so long. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna draw. So that's like this whole scene. Do we get, whoa, what's going on? Do we? Oh, fourth prize, 15,000. You know, I mean, they did say 15,000, but is this worth 15,000? Okay, so after you roll, what do you do, right? So if you don't want it, you can convert it back into points. So honestly, I don't know if this is 15,000 points. Let's Google this. SSR. The Japanese version, ultra shiny. Oh, $112. Oh, Singapore dollars, of course. So it's about there actually. Okay, I'll take it. Whatever, I'll take it. But honestly, when I wrote, my heart, I was kind of excited. But okay, I'll take it. I don't know whether they knew I like Gardevoir, but I'll take this. Okay, I'm gonna block this out. Okay, so yeah, you will just ship your stuff You put in your address after you selected what you want, and it will take approximately 2 weeks, they said here. So yeah, we just spent 30,000 yen, but we still have 15,000 yen remaining, so we can do some smaller pools maybe, or we can try this. Ooh. Yeah, I mean it's fun in that way. Honestly, it's just fun in that way. We could try 10 draws of this, although this is very degenerate. These are the more degenerate ones. 1 in 10. So I'm gonna be spending 15k for a chance to get 3,000 yen back. So it's a little bit. Oh yeah, I mentioned I wanted to do this, right? So let's just do this. The daily draw. Let's set the audio. Convert back in the points. Yeah, if you don't want the price and then you convert it back, that's what happens. Just so you know. So you can do it once a day. It's your like rough kind of just gacha thingy. There's also this rush thing which I don't really get, but apparently it's like it's a rush. You need to roll for the ticket, and then you come here and you do this. Then they have like a whole separate like. Apparently you can get prize after prize or something, but I don't know, man. This is a little too much for me. I'm just happy with getting good shit. Getting good stuff. Okay, well, 15,000 points. Where do we spend it? Maybe this. Oh, but it's kind of degenerate also though. It's 5 out of 300. Technically, the return on this should be higher because PSA 10 guaranteed slaps are gonna be like maybe 4,000 to 5,000 yen points. But this, you could draw 10 times, but you're gonna get 3,000 back. So technically, it would be more feasible to pull on this. Of course, this is like the waifu thing, so there's a lot here. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna pull once for this and like once for this, and then we'll end it there. Or maybe once for this. Okay, so 1, 1, 1. Okay, let's do it. Pull this. Oh, it's the same menu. Wait, gold? Win, come on! I don't know. What do I get? It's blue? No. Devo. 4th prize again. Yeah. Nah. Convert it. 12,000. Gone. Let's try this one. Let's see if we can get one of the rush tickets so we can try. And it's like all these, you know, sound effects. I don't know if you can hear it, but grab a lot. 180 points from 1,000 points. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we'll dump the rest into here, whatever. Can we? Yeah, no. Okay, so they don't. Oh, that's different. Outer space. This feels a lot like those pachinko mini or want it. How many points do we have? We're just gonna keep drawing this until we run out. So far, all of the did he even break? I didn't even break. This is so GG, man. Oh, is that special? Come on, break this thing. Come on. Off. Yeah, so they don't even have to ship it to you when you fill your gacha. Oh! Are you kidding? You had me happy for a second, dude. What the hell, bro? How much? 4,100. So we can probably do it 3 more times, assuming we exchange all 3. So let's just continue. Oh, 1 level up. One more. Come on. Yeah, it's really degenerate. I've got to say, this is pretty degenerate. Yep. The foil. I don't want that one. Yeah, this is our last draw, I think. Let's check. Yeah, 1691. This is gonna be the last draw before I end this video. So hopefully you enjoyed like any of these, like all of these talks. Hopefully you understand more about Oripas, and thanks to Clove for giving me the points to just play around in here. And I will see you again when the price comes back. So yeah. Okay, so just out of curiosity, I went back to review the footage, and you know, we started with like 50,000 yen, right? Approximately, okay, so like I know it's 741, but 200 yen, you know, we'll just sweep that under the rug. So these were the value of the hits that I got. This one was the Gardevoir, PSA 10, which was guaranteed minimum, by the way. If I didn't go for minimum, I would have been screwed even more, I think. And there's also the 6000 Devo, PSA 10, which was also guaranteed PSA, which is all around 6000. So without that, if you went for the more degenerate ones, I think it might have been even worse. But I came back to total up for 24,000 points, so yen. So 50,000 divided by 24241, and then let's see. Oh, minus, sorry. Yeah. So I would say to expect your experience to often, you know, let's just say the odds are against you, right? And even worse for some. But okay, to be fair, it's 800 yen lah, huh? So $6, right? So you get back $5. It's alright. No. That assumes no margin. They're gonna take more. So if they're gonna take like this one's 22,000, 220,000 out of the 405,000. You just took that. It's gonna be $2.60 for every $6 you spend. So it's gonna be around 300 yen for every 800 yen you spend. So yeah, that's about it. That's for real the end of this section. So we'll get to the part where I received the package from Clove, and that will conclude the whole process of doing Oripa online, right? So yeah. Okay, so the Clove slab came. All right, the Clove slab came. So I'm just gonna be showing you how it's like. So I don't know how they got stop tape, but they do have stop tape. And of course I tore off my address and all that. But this is the slab that they promised it would come in, that I ordered, technically, that I won. Well, I wouldn't say won, more of lost. But you get my point. You get my point. This is the slab that they sent. It took a long while though, so I'm gonna put like roughly how long it took here. Granted, it was over the new year, but still. And also, one rather strange thing, this shipment came from Hong Kong, which is kinda weird. I don't know. It almost feels like they're trying to encourage you to not convert your points, but I don't know. I mean, that's kind of strange. I mean, I always thought Clove was like Japanese, but if they are shipping it from Hong Kong, then obviously, well, I don't know whether it's the HQ, but you know, at least yeah, like you could do business in Japan, but your office and your CEOs, your C-suite people might be in Hong Kong. I don't know. But this is what it's like to open the box. Came in just to make sure that there's nothing nothing personal in there. Oh my god, I should have brought I should have brought a pen knife. I don't know why I didn't. And now I'm facing the consequences of it. Okay, what is this? It's in Chinese. 来获得可用 something 神秘包的1万点数吧。每月抽选选出5名幸运得主。Okay, so what these means? Every month they'll pick 5 lucky winners to get the 10,000 point Oripas, and then do that. Take a photo of this with the slab that you got and post it on Facebook. But I'm not too interested in that. I just want what I rolled that they kindly provided the points to me for, to be fair. But yeah, you can see here, this is it. It's a very, very old one though. It's a 7 series. But overall, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. In the end, we did get it. So if any of you were thinking whether, like, how does the process work and all that, yeah, that's basically it. So would I recommend playing the Oripa over buying the singles or just straight up buying the slabs? No, but it is entertaining. It's just that it's not value, right? If you're playing this, if you're playing like Clove, you're playing more for the thrill, alright? I don't want people to think that this is a way to collect. This is not a way to collect, okay? This is the degeneracy of opening packs taken to like the next level. Like, so yeah, that's the conclusion. Ultimately, I would say it's still up to you, because even if I don't tell you this, if you go to Japan, in fact, PSA themselves are doing it with their power packs and whatnot. They're partnered with GameStop, right? So even if I don't tell you this, you're already interfacing with this, so I might as well just make a video telling you all and informing you all about what the odds are for Oripa like this, and whether you should or should not, what you're in for. So when you buy these Oripas, right, what you're in for. Because a lot of people, I know it's just human to think that you will be the one to get that big prize, and you may be the one, but it's the survivor's bias. You only see the person that posted all of their winnings. You don't see the hundreds or thousands of people that failed. That one Oripa that had like, I think 100,000 slots, like 4 hits. Like, what the? Or I forgot how much it was, but basically they only had 4 hits and like at least 10,000 slots. So it's right. So you only see those what people posting. You don't see the rest of the people who bought and got nothing, right? So yeah, that's about it for this video. Hopefully it was informational. If you want more videos like this, do let me know in the comments. And thank you again, Clove, for giving me a chance to roll on your Oripa. I don't know whether you knew that I liked Gardevoir, but this is pretty nice. I do like it. But yeah, they provided the points for me to roll. Outside of that, nothing. And I also asked for the freedom to like do the video how I want it. The only things I had to talk about were the process of getting these, the process of rolling and all that. Other than that, I requested to be able to speak freely about Oripas and what I think about Oripas, and to explain the whole concept of Oripas, because you cannot talk about Oripas without talking about odds, because yeah, it's all controlled, right? You get to set it how you want, you get to move the dials how you want. But yeah, alright, that's about it for this video. Anything else? No, I don't think so. I'm gonna be making a video soon about collecting in general, just Pokemon, One Piece and everything, how to... I won't say it's the proper way to collect, but it's a safe way to understand how collecting works and get into the hobby without being tricked, I guess, taken advantage of. Because right now, as things get more and more lucrative, right, obviously you're gonna get more and more bad actors who come in. So yeah, I'm gonna make it as short as I can, but do look out for that. Yeah. Alright, other than that, I'll see you all at the next card show, etc.